Welcome to Codeless Craft. Grab your coffee and get comfy, because today we're diving into a marathon podcast exploring how coding is being revolutionized. We'll pit vibe coding against normal, traditional coding. What's faster, more practical, or just more fun? Let's get started.
What is vibe coding?
Let's kick off with the burning question. What is vibe coding? Imagine telling an AI, I want a website that shows my art portfolio elegantly, and in seconds, code appears as if by magic. Vibe coding means you lead with your intentions and let AI do the heavy lifting, iterating, refining, and rebuilding, all by chatting with your digital assistant. This idea? It's young, fresh, and was pushed into the spotlight by tech leaders like Andrej Karpathy, who describes vibe coding as forgetting the code even exists. Wild, right?
What is normal, traditional coding?
Now, take a step back. What if you had to build that same art portfolio by hand? You'd pick your language, architect your code, plan every step, and write each line yourself. That's normal coding. It's all about manual control, logical thinking, and debugging your way to success. The learning curve can be brutal, but the sense of accomplishment? Priceless.
Vibe coding in practice.
Let's walk through vibe coding live. I'm telling the AI, make a to-do list app with a clean blue interface. Waits for AI output. Awesome, I'm seeing a draft. I reply, can you add deadline reminders and a calendar view? Seconds later, those features pop in. I say, let's use a modern font and animate the add task button. Boom, changes see the light. I'm guiding the app by chatting, feeling out the vibe, and tweaking details just by describing them. I trust the AI, I roll with surprises, and if something feels off, I describe what I want instead. Vibe secured.
Normal coding in practice.
Now imagine building the same project from scratch. Pen and paper planning first, then hours buried in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Miss a semicolon? That's a bug. Need new features. More code, more tests, more late-night coffee. The silver lining. Every decision is mine. Every bug fix makes me smarter, and every line reflects my intent.
Deep dive comparison.
Let's compare. Vibe coding. Speedy, creative, sometimes unpredictable. Just talk to build. Normal coding, meticulous, slow, but precise, and the coder's vision never gets lost. Which do you prefer, the guided AI experience or the hands-on manual touch?
Industry use cases and testimonials.
I've chatted with dozens of pros. One startup founder said, with vibe coding, our MVP launched in 2 weeks. Even our designer could prototype features. A bank's lead developer shared, we stick to traditional coding for security, traceability, and scale. No shortcuts for us. Lives depend on getting it right. A freelance coder told me, I use both. I let AI sketch my ideas fast, but I take over for mission-critical code. Every use case, vibe, or traditional has its moment to shine.
The debate. Pros and cons.
Here's the honest debate. Vibe coding. Accessible, rapid fire, but sometimes AI output is a black box. Normal coding. Transparent, trusted, but slow and sometimes overwhelming. Want to risk mysterious bugs, or invest the hours learning each syntax quirk? What matters more, speed or total control?
Deep dives, tutorials, and experiments.
Alright, let's roll up our sleeves and code. First, a website design. With vibe coding, AI, make a gallery site for photographers. The site appears. I say, add a full screen slider, auto-optimize images, ditch pop-ups. Done. Then, traditionally, hours in React, struggled with image optimization, checked frameworks. Code grew and grew. Let's switch. Automate a task with both. AI, prompt, build a bot that sorts my emails by urgency, versus step-by-step in Python. Reading documentation, parsing emails, logic for keywords, so many test cases. Who wins this round? Depends on your priorities.
User and expert interviews.
I brought in voices from the field. A novice, vibe coding lowered the wall for me. I never thought I could build apps. A security analyst, AI code is risky. Who audits what the AI writes? For me, review and transparency are non-negotiable. A teacher, students love experimenting with vibe code. It lets them learn concepts before syntax, but we also teach normal coding for when things get tough. Let me answer a listener Q. Should I learn both? Absolutely. Blending both gives you superpowers.
The future. Where is coding going?
Where to next? Imagine a world where anyone builds tech by chatting to AI, but beneath the surface, experts keep code running safely, efficiently, and creatively. AI might plan your system, write your code, and fix your bugs, but the coder's judgment, that never goes out of style. I see a future where the best technologists prompt, review, and manually improve AI code, blending creativity with discipline. The secret? Stay curious, keep learning, and don't fear new tools. And that brings us to the future. What's next, really? Let's dive much deeper because the road ahead is wide, fascinating, and, to be honest, a little mysterious. Some people ask, is vibe coding the endgame, where we just stop learning syntax and logic and let AI do it all? Or will traditional coding always be needed, maybe more than ever, for things like cybersecurity, systems programming, or just for true creative freedom? I think about it like music. Sure, anyone can use AI to generate a song with a few clicks, but the artistry, the theory, and the magic that come from mastery, there's no substitute for that. So now, let's take a historical look. Think back to the invention of high-level programming languages. Assembly, C, then Python and JavaScript. Each leap made coding more accessible. Vibe coding is the next leap, but every leap left a place for specialists and experts who wanted or needed full control. Here's a story for you. A friend of mine worked at a fast-moving AI startup. They built their MVP with vibe coding, fast, dirty, AI-powered. When real users flooded in, performance flopped. We spent as much time refining and manually rewriting as we did building at first. Vibe code got us to MVP, but manual code got us to launch. Let's talk ecosystems. A whole new world is blooming around vibe code. There are prompt marketplaces, peer-reviewed prompt libraries, and prompt engineering jobs. I saw a listing yesterday, looking for a prompt engineer to tune our AI app builder. 5 years ago, most of us hadn't even heard that term.
Daily life with vibe code versus normal code.
So think about daily life. Imagine you're a solo indie developer. You want to ship a product quickly. Vibe coding, boom, skip the boilerplate, ship faster, test ideas. Now zoom out, sabatri. Say you're working on a heart monitor, a flight navigation system, or a bank's main server. Will you trust pure AI code, or do you need human-crafted reliability? Let's hear a real-world reflection. I was talking with a senior engineer from a big logistics company. She shared, we vibe code UI prototypes non-stop. But our back-end systems, those are handwritten, battle-tested, and every line is code-reviewed. Both have their place. It's all about risk and reliability. What about you, listener? Are you more excited about the creative freedom of vibe coding, or do you love the challenge of perfecting code line by line? Let me know in the comments. Your take helps shape how the industry moves forward.
Social impact.
Let's shift gears. What does this all mean for society? Vibe coding means more people can build apps, automate tasks, and explore ideas, maybe without ever writing a line of traditional code. It could democratize software creation the way no-code and low-code tools started to do in the last decade. But what about jobs? Will coders become prompt writers? Will universities teach AI prompting as a core skill? Already some boot camps are shifting curriculums, teaching students both solid fundamentals and how to converse with the machine.
Security and responsibility.
Now let's get real about risk. Vibe code is only as safe as the prompts and the AI models generating it. Bugs sometimes sneak through, sometimes big ones. A listener sent in a story. I vibe coded a script to handle invoices for my shop. It worked great, until it miscalculated discounts when the AI misread my intent. That's why security-conscious orgs insist on code review, even for AI-generated code. Trust, but verify.
The hybrid future.
Here's what I see coming. A hybrid world. AI will handle the heavy lifting, boring or repetitive parts of code. Humans will handle the logic, the security, the polish, and the creativity. We'll prompt, inspect, modify, and repeat. Maybe one day prompt writing is programming.
Interactive segment. Live prompt experiment.
Now, let's do something fun. Imagine we're vibing together. I'll narrate a series of prompts and outputs, just like a live lab. AI, build a web form for collecting event registrations. Let's review the result. Clean, basic form, but maybe it misses input validation. Next, AI, add email verification with visual cues. Output, nice. Now there are error highlights in red if people mistype an email address. But watch this, let's intentionally give a vague prompt and make it cooler. Result, AI adds animations, maybe a superhero theme or some wild colors. Do we want that? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. In every session, the magic and the mishaps depend on your clarity, your direction, and your willingness to roll with surprises. Let's extend this with real tutorials. Over the next hour, I'll walk through building a weather application, AI approach versus handwriting everything, automating a spreadsheet, task, prompt-based versus vanilla scripting, generating a generative art piece. See how vibe code interprets creative prompts compared to a handcrafted art algorithm. I'll break down the wins and woes of each. Sometimes the Vibe Code's innovation is genuinely jaw-dropping. Sometimes only a careful manual coder can add the nuances you crave. Let's share stories from healthcare, gaming, fintech, and more. In healthcare, AI code speeds up solutions for patient tracking apps, but normal code ensures HIPAA compliance. In fintech, prototypes test with Vibe code, but security logic and financial calculations get hand-tuned. In the creative industries, artists use AI to sketch entire platforms by describing their vision, but the final polish still comes from a code artisan. Let's now spotlight the ever-growing tools. Prompt-focused platforms. Code review as a service, open-source libraries designed for prompt tweaking. The rise of prompt craft. Yes, people are sharing and selling super effective prompts, just as folks share open-source code. Let's talk lifelong learning. If you're starting today, experiment with both. Use AI as an assistant, but take time to open the code it writes for you. Build your instincts as a coder and as a prompt writer. Don't get discouraged if it feels overwhelming. Every coder, every prompt mage, started by making mistakes, debugging, and iterating. Let's pause for a bit. As you listen, reflect. How would you leverage AI in your coding workflow, and where would you draw the line for manual review? You can always drop thoughts in the comments, tweet us, or DM us on Instagram at our new handle, @CodelessDaily, for daily tech bites and coding inspiration. For this next multi-hour block, I'll alternate between building projects live, prompting, reviewing, and debugging both AI-generated and manual code, deep diving into submitted listener prompts. Hey AI, make a budgeting tool for freelancers. Write a Python script to analyze YouTube video sentiment, sharing your questions, answering in detail, and chronicling every success and every snag. If you're following along, try the prompts yourself. See how your results differ. Maybe you refine and evolve AI code better than I do. Now it's time for marathon mode. I'll pick 5 ambitious projects, build each with Vibe coding and normal coding side by side. These will include a chat app, a simple game, an office dashboard, an image manipulation tool, a personal assistant bot. For each, we'll alternate between fast prototyping, Vibe code, and manual, step-by-step craftsmanship, normal code. We'll stopwatch, troubleshoot, and review every bug and breakthrough. And I'll share my honest reflections, what stressed me out, what was fun, and where AI truly surprised me. To keep things lively, let's bring in more voices. I'll read emails, voice messages, and snippets from coders who have tested both styles. One listener says, AI wrote me a decent app, but 2 features needed hand fixes. Another, the speed's amazing, but without knowing code, I felt lost troubleshooting. We'll answer your most upvoted questions from chat and Instagram. CodelessDaily, like, how secure is Vibe code really? Can someone get a dev job just with prompt skills? What's the weirdest bug you ever hit using only AI? My answers? Security always needs code review, prompt skills are the new entry ticket, and the weirdest bug is when AI interpreted add a friendly greeting as writing every output in pirate speak. New to both? Let's run a hands-on, beginner-friendly workshop for the next hour. How to craft your first prompt. How to refine AI output, when and why to read, edit, and test what the AI gives you. I'll share exercises, pause for you to experiment, and answer live DMs from Instagram at CodelessDaily. As we run into the last leg of this marathon session, let's recap. Vibe code is powerful for brainstorming, creativity, and learning. Normal code gives you the control needed for reliability, performance, and true innovation. The future? It's all hybrid. You'll prompt, you'll review, and you'll always keep learning. Thanks for spending these hours with me. Remember, your thoughts, suggestions, and questions truly drive this channel. Follow us on Instagram at CodelessDaily for daily coding ideas, Q&As, behind the scenes, and more tech deep dives.
Welcome to our extended Q&A. I'm joined today by our friend and fellow coder, Jamie, ready to tackle the toughest questions about Vibe coding and traditional code.
Always. The chat's already buzzing, and I love that everyone's bringing their own stories. Let's dig in.
Mastan, this one's for you. We've got a viewer asking if Vibe coding can ever really match traditional coding when you're building something huge, like a banking app or a multiplayer game.
Great question. Vibe code is amazing for prototypes and smaller apps, but when you need bulletproof security, deep optimization, or intense teamwork, hand-coded solutions are still king. Most teams, though, start with AI to move fast and then switch to manual refinement as complexity grows.
So, blend both as you scale.
Exactly.
I'll jump in on this. AI-generated code can sometimes include hidden bugs, outdated libraries, or even introduce vulnerabilities by accident. The risk is that if you trust the output blindly, you might miss something critical.
Spot on. That's why we always recommend code reviews, even if AI gets you 90% of the way.
Why not all three? Vibe code gives fast wins and builds confidence, but normal code teaches you structure and troubleshooting. I'd say get your hands dirty with vibe coding, but don't skip the foundations.
It's like learning shortcuts before understanding the map. You get further when you can do both.
Maston, what's your take? Could someone land a dev job just using vibe code and prompts?
In some startups, maybe, but for a full tech career, you'll need to read, edit, and sometimes write code yourself. Prompts can get you hired for no-code or quick automation work, but the best devs combine both skills. I once asked for a fun login form, and no joke, the AI made the submit button bounce like a pinball. Every error message told a joke.
Love that. Mine turned everything into pirate speak when I asked for a friendly greeting. Surprises keep you humble. Quick trend check. Are schools catching up yet?
Some are. I've seen boot camps with hands-on modules for prompt engineering, but most still anchor on traditional languages and logic. It's changing, though. Hybrid curriculums are the future, not at all, but it's changing what coders do. More time is spent prompting, reviewing, and improving the AI's output, not just cranking out syntax. The best jobs go to people who can steer AI with vision and fix its mistakes.
And who keep learning new tools, right?
That's the secret. Never stop adapting.
And I'll start. My favorite part is idea speed. I can try wild concepts on the fly and see results in minutes.
For me, it's seeing people without coding backgrounds build apps and automate life. It's unlocks for everyone.
Jamie, thanks for navigating this Q&A marathon with me.
Always a blast. And thanks to everyone who dropped brilliant questions. This community is why we love making these podcasts.
Join the conversation. Tell us your challenges and wins in the comments. And for more tech journeys, follow us at our brand new Instagram at Codeless Daily. You'll find daily tips, behind the scenes, and more. Until next time, keep building and stay curious.
Enjoyed the video? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.